Yes, again, court in session with me, Elk, and my one co-host who's missing, who that is Alan Pinder. He's the Bajan Scout. He is on assignment. And with us is the Avenger only one, that is Kelan Phillips. Kelan, it has been a really interesting time in the NBA. So let's look at both conferences. Let me start with the East. Out in the East, you notice that leading East is the Cavaliers, and they're on a 15-game winning streak. And then there's the Celtics and the Nets. The surprise, though, in the top six is the Indiana Pacers. I don't think anybody thought they would be in top six. Orlando was a surprise in the beginning, but I don't think they're under surprise anymore. But Indiana is in top six. Imagine that.
Yeah, especially after they made the conference final last year, but then they got off to a very slow start, and a part of that too was um Tyrese Halliburton, right? Obviously, he was the surprise star last year, easily entered some of the best point guard in the league talks, best point guard in the East talks, but he started off very slowly, right? His numbers were down, and of late they slowly started to pick back up. He started to have some very good games. He had a good 30 something and 10 game against the Heat the other day. Um, I think the Pacers might have beaten the Celtics the other day too. So like they started racking up some quality wins as his numbers get better, right? So I think the slow start was attributed to him, but they slowly climb back up. And because the East there's just been the it's been the top two. Well, Cleveland even in itself is starting to separate themselves a little bit. But if we think in terms of teams, in terms of quality, top two, Celtics and Cavs, then the Magic was up there, but then obviously they're dealing
They're
the
still fourth.
yeah, and they're still fourth. The Knicks, and after that is really after that fourth spot is really up for grabs. To
Yeah.
be honest, between the Bucks,
Milwaukee.
Pacers,
Yeah.
the Heat
Milwaukee.
round there. The
Detroit is another surprise.
I I I really like the Pistons this year. It's kind of funny. Like the Pistons and the Spurs are kind of having a similar thing in opposite conferences. Like bottom of the team thing, they had their star player already. They added some in the draft. They in terms of the Pistons, they changed head coaches. I know in no more 20 something losing streak for the Pistons. Like they're actually winning games. They've shown a lot of growth as a young team. Like they're winning close games. They're having leads and keeping them. Like it's crazy that they're what no 18 and 18. They're
Yeah,
500. That's actually crazy considering last year.
correct. Actually, considering last year and considering that they had a coach that was supposed to develop young people,
It's true. They did it. It's true.
yeah, just saying through the door.
Yeah, but they got who JB Bickerstaff, right?
Yeah, I think biggest time.
Yeah, and he's a good coach. So like yeah, I like what they're doing out there. But yeah, the East after that four, and even the Magic could be caught. I mean, I think Paolo should be back soon. I think, but he's the one that got injured first. So I'm thinking he's most likely to come back first.
Yeah,
So
he
them
been doing some I think they say he doing some on court stuff
on good stuff,
and getting
yeah.
his
So it might just yeah. So it would just take a couple of games for him to just get that rust off, and
mm,
then so like after that, I think they should be fine. But yeah, any after that is all up for grabs.
yeah. That's the East. Then you got the West, who the Thunder, 15 game winning streak, running away with things in the West. I mean, they're they even look close. I mean,
Yeah,
like Cavaliers look like the best in the league, really.
Yeah, I know in the East we said that it was Cavs and Celtics who was a little close or whatever, but OKC just looked like, yeah, I'm the best and it's just the rest.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they're doing this without chat. Like they beat Boston the other day without chat and without Alex Caruso. That is very impressive. No, I'm not saying that they're gonna fall off. The only interesting dynamic I want to see is how they look when Chat come back because now they have Hardenstein, right? And I don't think it's two things. One, the contract that Hardenstein got does not indicate a bench player, and the play that he's also having does not indicate a bench player. Like since he's joined them, he's averaging 12 and 12. And I think they're 19. I think since he's played, they're 19 and 1. So I don't think you just drop that to the bench. And I think having Chet being able to space the floor means it can work. I just want to see how it looks. And if it looks any better, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I think they're legit contenders now.
Yeah, definitely.
Not just having a good regular season. I don't think I think people got to really take notice of them because right now Denver look okay.
Yeah.
Memphis, they look all right. Houston has been a big surprise.
Yeah.
I think Udoka doing his magic.
Yeah.
He just needs to, like just keep
Yeah. Yeah.
nobody.
They're so relatively young too. So it's
Yeah,
like
don't refer to nobody. Don't refer to nobody. The president's family, nothing like that. He'd be all right. Um,
yeah.
and then, but some things are surprising. Like for example, the Phoenix Suns are 16 and 18.
Yeah. When
I
you have arguably, let's say arguably, I guess two top 10, I guess for sure top 15 players. And like, yeah, it's kind of similar to how people saw the Lakers kind of being underwhelming for the past couple of years. Like, especially 2 years ago, Bron was easily considered a top 10 player. And it was like you had Bron at 80 as two top 10 players, but yet you were closer to the bottom end of the playoff race. And no, but Suns taking it to a whole new level because like I don't know. They recently made a change to the starting lineup, bench Bradley Beal and
yeah.
Nurkic. No, I ain't gonna hold you Nurkic. Now, he been want bench. I ain't gonna lie, he been want benching. But Bradley Beal, that one was kind of surprising. There seems to be some tension there.
I think they got some locker room problems.
Yeah, there's some tension there. Even Bradley Beal talked about like issue kind of with his role. Like he's he's being asked to be a facilitator and not really a scorer. And I mean, yeah, Bradley Beal is a scorer, but that was one of the problems that I had with this trio from the beginning. Like with all trios, it's always best that you have all great trios that work, all do something different, or at least one of them does something different. Like Baytrey Miami, you got Braun Wade and Boss, right? All were dominant guys. The man at, on their team, but no, Braun obviously is the main guy. Wade slashing, but no Boss space in the floor, defense, that defensive anchor. Even big trees like it's a lot easier obviously if you got big, but big tree with the Spurs. Duncan Parker, and all the manual off the bench. That's a change. Like even that in itself is a change. Um, so like when you have those big three that work, but when you have a big three like the Suns where three of them just do the same thing at different levels, it kind of makes it like very redundant. Like you have Katie, who's an all-time great scorer on the ball, off the ball. And you had with Devin Booker, who's also great on-ball scorer off the ball, on the ball. And they have Bradley Beal, who's a lesser Devin Booker. It's like he just going down the table. Like that's redundant. And there's only one ball. It's like none of them is a playmaker. None of them is a defensive stopper. I mean, KD's good at defense, yeah, but like they all do the same thing, just very level with one ball.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think and they don't have much of a bench, so
Yeah.
I think they have some problems. I don't know if they could. I don't know if they could fix all their problems.
Well, they have a way which we can talk about later, but they have a
Well,
way.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if that there works.
Yeah, I ain't too sure what that means.
Yeah, we'll see if that there works. Um, later, but yeah, that's the roundup for the East and the West. And I must admit that we say the West is better. Um, but I'm really not sure. You have to tell you, I really am not sure. I really am not sure. But
Yeah, I think we think the quality of the teams is better, but I ain't too sure about overall.
yeah, okay. So we have the roundup, and then we look at who you think if the season was to finish today, who you think would be MVP?
Ooh, me personally, I'd probably give it to SGA. I'd probably give it to Shea Gilders. Um, a lot of things maybe are in his favor, right? Best player on the best team right now are hovering around there. Like Cavs and Thunder right now, the toss is a 1 game difference. So you could argue either side is the best, right? Um, playing out great, and he's not just playing out like okay numbers. I think that's actually one of the reasons why Donovan Mitchell is not really in the MVP team because he's the best player, but his numbers don't stand out completely against the rest of the team. It's a team effort for them, right? With a leading star player, right? But SGA right now is playing up 31 points, 5.6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block, right? On a team that's 30-5, and his numbers actually, if you look at his numbers from last year, it's literally pretty much the same. The only one difference I would tell you is that he's taking a lot more threes. I think he took like 3 last year, and I know he's taking 6, but his efficiency is the same. So like he's shooting more, but he's still shooting them at the same clip as last year, which obviously indicates he's a better shooter. At least he's hitting better from 3. So I would take SGA. Can't ignore what Jokic is doing, obviously. Like Jokic, almost a 30 something point triple double as a center. I think he's top 3 in points, rebounds, and assists, right? I think he would have a better case if Denver was a little bit better. I think if it comes down to it and Denver just goes on a streak to end the season, then it's gonna be a real tough thing. I think people might give it to SGA because he hasn't won one yet, and Jokic has won 3. And then if you give him 4, not saying that he doesn't deserve it, but then people they start to think, oh, we can't give him 4 because this person ain't got 4 and this and all that.
Yeah.
So those would be the top 2. If I had to give a third, it'd be probably between Giannis or Tatum at that point.
I don't even think I would go so far. I agree. You. I would stay with
Yeah, yeah,
Jokic.
even those
Jokic
two.
and SGA.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think, as you said, it would get SGA the nod simply
yeah,
because his team is better and he is playing at a top level. It's not that he's just holding on for the ride or
yeah.
I mean he really leading and
He's dominating.
you see him play. I mean, man, make
Yeah,
basketball look so simple. I mean,
yeah.
look like you know.
He's
I
very
mean, there's
skilled.
not a lot of people in NBA that's make basketball look simple. I
True,
mean,
but
like he
yeah,
make it look super simple. I mean, like
yeah.
he
I
don't
agree.
shoot not like Steph is shoot like 10 trees a game.
Yeah, he shoots 6, and even that's a lot for
Yeah,
him.
and that's a
Like,
lot for him. He hit most of his things
shot from mid range. Yeah,
mid range. So I think right now to me he would be leading.
yeah,
Jokic would be a real close second, and he would only be second because of Denver itself, who is not
yeah,
really playing at that level that she playing at.
yeah,
However, they are playing better than how they start out,
yeah. Agreed.
but they are not at the level. So that is the MVP race. Then we get to what the thing that is, got the whole NBA gripped at this present time, the Jimmy Butler saga. I mean,
Yeah.
every day, every
Uh,
day, every day, look at your phone and seeing something else different about
Lord have mercy.
what's happening in Miami. But I have to tell you, it is very interesting. Right now, I don't think I hear that he said that he won't go Phoenix, and nobody else don't trade because he will not be playing.
Mm.
He won't go Phoenix, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
Miami can get anything from Phoenix, so they ain't gonna involve some other teams,
yeah,
and if they involve some other teams, Miami has to be getting about something that they can need, that they want, because they don't want Bradley Beal contract, and they don't really want Bradley Beal, because if
yeah,
not, they would have taken him when
yeah,
he was at Washington. So, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but my gut feeling is
yeah,
Miami gonna send him to the whoever give him them the best in return, and he might end up somewhere that he don't really want to be, and then just ask for a contract buyout, and then just go and join the Phoenix Suns on after coming off of waivers. That's the only way I could see it working.
The on the only thing about that, that'd be really difficult because his contract, the amount of money this year, like if it was a um if he was on like a his last year was like a 10 million, then I could see that. But like, I don't see anything within 47 million. That's the only problem. Like 47 million is a lot of money, especially it's dead money too, right? Yeah, it's a very tough and tricky situation because it's like on one hand, yeah, if he wants to go Phoenix, is like you need Bradley Beal, but even if they want Bradley Beal, it depends still. Like Bradley Beal actually has a no trade clause. He'd have to waive that. So it'd have to be Bradley Beal wanting to go to Heat first off, or else everything is just thing. Even though, as you said, there seemed to be some conflict in Phoenix, so maybe he might want to leave, and Phoenix might not Phoenix Heat might be first or best way to get out. You never know. Um, yeah, but also teams are being informed not to trade for Jimmy because um, it's all about him to signing an extension after, right? Because a lot of people saying it is about money. Yes, it's about money, but I think more than the money, I think it's more so security, like you committing to Jimmy, and I think that's also the issue with that he has with the Heat. It's not necessarily the money. Yes, money obviously is thing with it, right? But it is also you are committing to me as a player for at least 3 or so years. I think that's the stick up to with the extension. But I understand the Heat's point of view because it's like be committing to
35
you,
years, he's
but you're
35 years
35
old.
years old. You
His
don't
availability is
play.
becoming,
It's becoming
less and less.
an issue, and then it's like you only play during the regular season. You don't play during the regular season and then to try to ramp up in the playoffs. But then I understand Jimmy because, like, on the flip side, maybe if we had gotten the help that he's been asking for, then maybe he could coast a little bit in the season and then turn it up and not have to play all the way through, especially at his advantage. Is like is a lot of you can see both sides in terms of that. Like that's why this drama is so kind of messy because it's not a clear cut. Or he's right and he's wrong. You can literally there are points on both sides that you can agree with, and I do however agree with the fact that Jimmy has, and even some fans have been asking for the Miami Heat to improve on the roster for a while. I think they've gotten a little bit too much into the we find these gems and we try to get the best out of everything, and then Jimmy is trying to carry it. But at the end of the day, you still need superstars, you still need great talent to win, right? And it kind of even emphasizes Jimmy point, like, okay, we doing all of this with, I don't want to say the bare minimum, but little thing. Like, imagine if we had another star, like we could, and we reaching finals, like we could win at least one title. And I think that's the point that Jimmy's trying to make, or he's emphasizing for every Saints. I think also when Pat Riley came out and said the Jimmy should just like not
Shut
talk because it was a play.
shut
Yeah,
when you play.
yeah, I think that kind of rubbed Jimmy the wrong way. You know, I get it. I get what Pat is saying, and I also get how Jimmy would feel. I guess if the only way that I could think is I guess you wouldn't do it in public. I guess that's something that you could tell him thing. But once again, that's Pop. That's Pop early. He's been doing this for years, been doing it his way, and like he's gonna think, well, my way is the right way. So it's two really stubborn people just going head to head and it not working.
Remember he let Dwayne Wade walk.
He had to do it. Well, he didn't budge for Braun.
Yeah.
Come on, he's not budging for
He's
anybody.
not that guy.
Nah, he's
So
definitely
yeah,
not.
I don't think Jimmy could make him move.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think that's a lost cause there. But I would hope that he get to a team. There are a lot of
yeah,
teams that they could help. The problem is,
definitely. Yeah, getting yeah,
you know, if Phoenix really want him, then they got to get rid of some of the money that they have. So I think they want to get rid of Bill. And if they
yeah.
do get rid of Bill, then and Miami don't want Bill, it means that they're going to
Yeah,
get
13.
more
And that's
teams
even
involved. And as you start getting teams involved and all things, they start to get even more,
yeah,
even messier, right? So
yeah. Maybe you'll know one good innings.
yeah, and then if he don't, they got no trade clause. So if
Yeah.
he don't want to go the way he want, they're sending him there
Yeah,
a whole set. So I I I think the drama is not going to finish anytime soon,
yeah,
unless something really great happens or Miami change their mind on something.
yeah. I
And
know.
but I think he will have to serve his suspension until when he comes back. He will probably will get back some of the money in arbitration,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I think he is I don't know. I don't know who you can get to Phoenix, but he will know, so we'll see. Yeah. So of course, after the Jimmy Butler saga, I mean, then you have to look at or what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next on quarter session is pick five.
Sir.
Right. And last week, I must admit, was a fairly good week for, well, it was a good week for Kelan and myself. Alan only got one winner last week.
Ugh.
I think that's what he went on.
No, yeah, no, good start. He was like, nah, I can't do work today.
I think that's what he went on assignment.
Yeah, he's like,
Yes.
yeah.
So last week, well, that was last week.
Mhm,
3 out of 5, and 1 out of 5.
mhm.
But this week now we start on Wednesday. OKC at Cavs.
Oh no, like, this is one match I am waiting for. Like, I can't wait for this match. This is honestly just pick one and whoever. It's like I know who you can pick.
I going with the home team.
Who's the home team?
Cavs.
Cavs.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna pick Cavs. You know what? I can pick OKC just so that we oppose it, just so they got a little.
Okay. On Thursday, we have Houston at Memphis. Another big game.
Ooh, yeah, this is a good week. Ooh, ooh. I know Ja out a little bit, but even so, they're still playing really well, even without Ja Jackson and Ben and them. I can go with Rockets.
There you
I can get
go.
Rockets.
You're going with Rockets. I can go with Memphis.
Yeah, these are
On
two games
Friday,
that could go either way for
on
real.
Friday, Washington at Chicago.
All right, I know which way I game with that. That's the Bulls. Come on, boy. Right.
You go to Chicago.
Yes, you're not going with the Washington Generals. All right.
Okay, I will go with Chicago as well.
Yeah.
Then on Saturday, we have Miami at Portland. Now, with all this saga around Miami, they have not been playing very well. So let's see. Miami at Portland.
Yeah, they gonna play Warriors tonight. Oof, they
They're
might be
playing
orange.
Warriors. I think they're playing Warriors tomorrow.
Nah, nah, they may orange tonight. So they might be orange three off a back to back. I get pants on the men for at least a win over Portland. If they don't beat Portland large,
All right.
it might angel me suspicion if they can't beat Portland.
Sensitive, man. They ain't there, Portland. Just so that we will be on the same side if we second straight pick.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday is Milwaukee at New York.
Hmm. Knicks is playing the better ball, but Bucks is one of them teams that in a one game they can always still be anybody. Um, I get with the Bucks, man.
You can read about it. All right.
I get the Bucks.
Bringing whole New York. And that is the pick 5. And for 30 seconds now, Kelan, who do you call game on?
Call game on Kawhi Leonard, who's back. Finally, one of the players is back. Finally, after so many months, he's finally back. And, first 2 games, he's back. He can slowly ramp up. I also quit the DeMar DeRozan last game against the Kings. 2 shots in overtime. So shut up with 2 players. With 2 favorite players.
So you call game on both of them. Well,
Yeah.
I call game on the International Cricket Council for coming up with a 2-tier system for Test cricket. I will put West Indies in the second tier. I think basically they are banishing West Indies to cricket, what we call cricket purgatory. And I think I should call a game on them, and I want them to understand that, and I want the West Indies to understand that there's nothing good coming from a 2-tier system at the end of the second. Because financially they will not benefit, and it will mean then the death of cricket in the Caribbean, basically.
So get back in that first tier. Yeah.
So we don't support any tier system. Let it be 1 tier. And our job now is to make our cricket better. And that's it for calling game. And as we call the game, the court in session is now adjourned.